Hey everyone! Now that Product Plus has become the standard in most of North America's PM scene, the era of 3.6 has largely come to a close. Inspired by Sabre's list of the greatest players in 3.6, and in an effort to help recap some of Product M's history, I'll be taking a look at some of the competitors who define the past, present, and hopefully the future of Product M. This is Legends of 3.6. Some know him as a relentlessly flashy Luigi main, while others know him better as a melee player who's beginning to make his mark on the larger scene. But AZPM knows him as their slightly villainous final boss, ILoveBagelz. For someone as established in the PM community as Bagelz, his introduction to the scene was relatively recent. Bagelz started playing PM in late 2015. But within a year, he was taking bigger, more well-known names within Arizona. That said, it was an uphill battle to the top. Like most new players, ILoveBagelz spent his early years crawling through the mud. AZPM was full of heavy hitters, and Bagelz had to face all of them. If you look through older PRs, you'll recognize names like HF Neon, K9, Silly Kyle, Casino Wolf, Oak Sauce, Meds, Axe, and Blue, among so many other greats that came through early Product M power rankings. AZPM was also one of the more well-known streams during the early years of Product M. I imagine there was a lot of pressure to follow in the footsteps of greats like these. In his early years in the scene, coming up short of greatness frustrated Bagelz. And it wasn't uncommon to see a fair bit of salt from him.
Doing the classic. Wow. Wow. Jesus fucking Christ. That was the stupidest thing I'd ever seen. Yo, Funkling. I'm not even playing.
Many a time, this salt was brought out by his local rival and Link legend, Blue. Similar to Bagelz, Blue started in late 2015, but quite remarkably, he gained the #1 spot on the AZPR within 6 months of his first PM major. But Bagelz was always right behind Blue, quietly taking names in the shadow of his more visible AZ contemporary. Not unlike Luigi, eternally living in Mario's shadow. It's easy to see why Blue was a natural rival for Bagelz. At the time, Blue was considered one of the best Link players in the world. For the better part of a year, Blue handed out loss after loss to Bagelz on many occasions. There were times where Bagelz felt like the matchup was impossible. In an event months in the making, Bagelz finally took his set off of Blue.
Yeah, dude. I feel great, honestly.
Good shit, dude.
I feel that, like, it's better. It's like, instead of being 30-0 or 31, I'm now 33, you know? It's like,
yeah.
But to be honest,
He knew that he was ready to take on the world. And that, he did.
Yeah, that would have been.
Wow, what an extension with
Yeah.
the fireball.
Yeah. Oh, Danner's into the other side. Oh, catching the tether.
Bagel. He says, I get to get beat up by Lunchables.
Despite picking up the game seriously just after the release of 3.6, he was on PM rank the year after he started, getting just enough good wins to earn the blessed 47 rank.
Oh my
Put
God.
that in your Giphy Cat and smoke it.
But it was clear from the smaller events that he attended, where he picked up wins over the likes of Sosa, Machiavelli, and iPunch Kids, that Bagelz was capable of so much more.
I want Bagelz to already take this stock. Oh my goodness!
What a legend!
His potential finally revealed itself in what was supposed to be an unremarkable pools match at EVO 2016. At the time, Junebug was widely considered to be the top PM player, and he may have even had a case for the greatest of all time status. In mid-2016, Junebug's dominance was at its peak, and his record spoke for itself, with feats such as placing top 2 at 8 of the 12 events he attended leading up to EVO. Junebug losing to a player ranked 5th on the AZPM rankings would be a shock to say the least. But somehow, Bagelz pulled it off, finishing first in his pool above Junebug and instantly becoming a threat to take the entire tournament. Unfortunately, Bagelz' rookie status meant he couldn't quite maintain the power levels he reached in the set against Junebug, and he was quickly defeated by Jose V and Spark. For the rest of that year, Bagelz mostly served as a gatekeeper, beating anyone who was a borderline contender for top 50, but losing fairly consistently to those who would go on to be ranked above him. However, through a combination of impressive regional results and his uniquely explosive gameplay at majors, Bagelz didn't go unnoticed, slowly rising up PM rank. Through 2017, Bagelz increased his consistency, taking names again and again. His Junebug win was no fluke. But it wouldn't be until 2018 where he would remove his limiter on PM's biggest stage. At Even Bigger Balk, the largest PM event in history, ILoveBagelz defeated Washington legend Aki to make it out of pools and winner's side. But PM brackets are full of sharks. Immediately after his win, he would be slated to play against Malachi, a clear favorite to win not only the set, but potentially take the entire tournament. But as we know, a scenario like this is nothing new to Bagelz. Years of Peach experience against Silly Kyle and item experience against Blue had prepared Bagelz for this very moment, and now was his time to shine. With the Arizona crowd roaring behind him, he two-stocked Malachi's Peach, and then Game 2 managed to force a quit out. With this, Bagelz forced him to pick a tertiary Mr. Game & Watch as a last-ditch attempt to rally. At first, it looked like Malachi might be able to take the whole thing back when he eked out a Game 3 win against his Luigi. The fourth game, Malachi completely dominated Bagelz, not unlike Bagelz' second game against his Peach. With one final salty quit out, the match came down to the wire, with Bagelz down a stock and at a significant percent deficit. But somehow, Bagelz managed the comeback of a lifetime over the second best player in the world, ending with a well-deserved pop-off. And with another Game 5 set win against J-Fist, Bagelz found himself in winner's quarters of the largest PM event of all time. While Bagelz eventually fell to Blink and Fuzz for 9th place, his Even Bigger Balk run embodied the potential that so many of his fans had believed in for years. With this, Bagelz cemented his status as not only a top-tier threat in the Southwest region, but a top-tier threat in PM's world stage.